Two graduates of Wizard Academy. Dean Rotbart, a Pulitzer Prize-nominated investigative reporter for the Wall Street Journal, and Dr. Kary Mullis, the world-renowned inventor of polymerase chain reaction, winner of the 1993 Nobel Prize for Chemistry, discuss how to think for yourself.
I was going to say that the great contribution that PCR has made, which is now well established, PCR itself, the patent is a large industry already within this country. It has done enormous things in terms of the Human Genome Project, in terms of medical biological research. It comes from an individual who is both noted as being an independent thinker, and because of that, the label is often also attached to you of being eccentric. And I'm wondering if you could tell me whether or not the things that you're often labeled as being eccentric for are not in fact part and parcel of how you do your science and your breakthrough in terms of your way of looking at any issue or any problem.
People will call you eccentric if you take a position that's different from the masses of the people, right? And I often do.
Certainly must rub some people wrong that this newbie comes in.
Yeah, it did. Because, well, it did. Because of the fact that they thought that somebody who understood the significance kind of PCR right away would be, more like one of them rather than like one of me. People should always, be in corporate situations as well as scientific, on the lookout for guys who believe. Believers are not really wanted in science, and they are a hindrance to good science. People who believe in something are not. People who accept it tentatively, awaiting further evidence. That's what you're looking for. Somebody who's willing to learn everything that's possible to learn about some new theory, and then say, well, until this thing is shown by somebody to be wrong, it looks good to me, and I'm going to go with it.
There are all sorts of associations, organizations that hold themselves out as being able to think for you. We are the trade group for this, we are the government regulatory body, we are the professional regulatory body. But how does the individual have the courage to look at that accepted dogma and say, you know what, I'm not buying it?
Distrust your fellow man. I would say that's an important thing. Think of him as being just as fallible as you are.
Would you be more inclined to think of somebody who thinks for themselves as being somebody who embraces the status quo or questions the status quo?
I think if you find yourself agreeing with too many things, you aren't thinking for yourself. Most of the time when everybody agrees, what they agree on is not right.
Going back to the question of thinking for yourself, you're a person who is basically known and in many ways has been immortalized for thinking for yourself, because that's how you came up with the ideas, but you've also been at times on the sharp end of that stick of people poking you because they think that the way you think for yourself is not acceptable to them. Can you talk a little bit about just how you process being an individual, just on a personal basis, how you deal with the fact that there are smart people out there that think you're wrong, or smart people out there that think you are a menace to society because of your thinking?
Well, I don't really consider that it's the smartness of the people that decides an issue. I think it's the logic, and the experiments. The people should be separate, sort of, from the facts.
And I couldn't agree more. The truth is the truth, regardless of who delivers it. And the facts are the facts, regardless of what you may have previously believed. That's why the curricula at Wizard Academy is developed around only the most thoroughly tested and far-reaching discoveries known to man. To find out more about what you'll learn as a student at Wizard Academy, visit wizardacademy.com.